Hello, Planet Sewers. It's Mathletee here. I have a Giant Otter Zoo Entrance for you from my workshop. I do have some funny video of the otters at the end, so stick around. It is a blueprint that I've had in my workshop for a while, and I did discover it had some issues, so I corrected them. So much it wasn't an issue, it's being able to make the tunnel work correctly. When I placed it, I realized if you didn't know how to manipulate the terrain, you wouldn't be able to get this to work. So I edited the blueprint so that it has the terrain. So what I'm doing here is just getting rid of that gate and putting in a new one so I can easily path. And I'm putting in my water, and for some reason, because of how I have this connected with the null barrier and the full barrier, it will take out this inside barrier. So just get those first two in on the edge, and you can set it to 4 meters, and it should line up pretty good with those window areas in the building down there. And I couldn't get this to line up. I think there's a shop right there. So I tried a couple times and just said, oh well, we'll just plunk it there. And then you can add in your water to this side of the habitat. And I deleted that null barrier to get it in, so I've just got to put it back. The reason that outside null barrier is there is so it would include the rest of the entrance, so it's part of the habitat. Hello, Ruby. Ruby says hello to everybody today. So what I'm getting ready to do is create the tunnel. So the old one, you wouldn't be able to put water in because there was no terrain right here to hold the water. So I put the terrain back and created a space that you will need to tunnel through. So I'm trying to find a good spot. So I have tunneling on, and I've turned the rails off, and that first one didn't do what I wanted, so I'm sinking it as low as it will let me and putting down that first path piece. And right now I've put the elevated length to 1 meter, and I'm going down 1 step, and it let me get in just perfectly. Right here, I couldn't for the life of me understand why it wouldn't let me go all the way through the tunnel. That's really odd. So I was like, well, I'm gonna come over to this side and do the same thing and see if I can get in there. And it took a couple of tries. So for you, before you start tunneling, I will point out in a moment the first step you actually need to do when we get there. So I can see here that there's something blocking the way, and it just doesn't tell you what it is. It just turns red, and I see that it's turning blue over there. I went as far as moving shops out, checking different things, and what gave me the clue is this setting in here that maybe there's an enrichment item that's in the way. So I changed that setting, and still didn't matter, and decided, well, let me go ahead and put one here, and I cannot get it to connect. But here I see, oh wait, it's swinging way out. What's in the way? And there it is, the culprit. So before you start doing any pathing, move that guy out of the way, and you should be able to go straight through once you get your perfect path going at the beginning. And then here I'm just coming up a couple of notches with that 1 meter elevated path. Originally when I built this, I did have, oh, there's my shops that I moved. They're in my way, so I put them back. You won't need to move them. But anyway, when I originally built this, I did a grid pathing with 4 meters all the way through here. But with the shops, it wouldn't let me recreate that. So it is a little bit of a tight squeeze. And so right here what I did is just put it to the smallest it would let me, and came down from that shop with the elevated path, and then did a couple of path pieces past this shop there, and I had a camera moment, and changed the elevation, I think. Let's see, what did I do? Let's find out. I don't remember. I think I did the same as I did from that first one. I'm trying to just come up, but it won't let me. So I'm gonna bring the elevation down in the elevated link, and I was just really wanting to come up to it, but it wouldn't let me. Nope, there it goes. It finally connected. So I got it the way I wanted it to go the first time. It just took a few tries to get it there. Then I added the pathing here and connected them with a regular path, and then decided I was going to try to get it to connect with a side path, but it didn't go. So I'm going to control out there and get one going so I could get right next to the barrier there, and camera kicked me out to the side. So I'm just going to lift this group so that it covers up that little piece. Looking around for any path pieces I need to finish connecting, and I do need to finish right here. Trying to get the widest path I could to connect into that 4-meter path. Trying different angles. The path system in the game is not always our friend, so just keep trying until you get whatever works for you. And ultimately I had to make it small again, and it finally connected in. Moving the ATM so it's actually on the ground. I was going to move that and then decided I like it where it is, so I'm going to leave it there. Looking around to see if I need to move anything else. Sometimes things that are just barely off the path the guests can still interact with and use. And then I'm gonna get rid of that tall grass and grab all these guys and move them back down. And what I did notice is this is a step lower than how I originally built it. So I have a feeling if I update the blueprint again, it will just keep getting deeper. So I did not update where everything is. I just duplicated this wall, brought it down to cover up that funny little curb that's kind of going on down there, and did the same thing on the other side. So you can do that if the terrain or the curb bothers you. You can just bring those down. They are separate groups, I believe, so you would need to grab it from each side and add it in on the bottom. I did update the blueprint and fix some of the tunnel things on the outside. And coming out of the tunnel, I was having a bit of a struggle, and then I remembered I do have a null barrier here, so I moved it back. Don't forget to pull it back outside, otherwise you will have escaped otters who are in their habitat just because of where that barrier is. It was not letting me place the path because of where that null barrier was, so I had to do a little step up a couple times with that small 1 meter elevated, or 2 meters it looks like, until it would get level with the ground. And then off we go. This is my test zoo, so I have 2 zoos I kind of test these out in. So here we are at the entrance, and I do have at the end of this walkthrough a pretty funny thing that happened, so make sure you wait to the end to check it out. So we're walking through from the entrance. You have information, a drink, and a food vendor. There's also another vendor to the left. I don't remember what it is, but it's probably a souvenir. I like to include them all. Walking through our tunnel here, I don't see any otters on this pass through, but just give you a look what it looks like as you walk through for guests. And excuse me, walking through people reading stuff, and the path kind of left that weird connection. There's really not much I can do. Then blow it up or try again. And there goes an otter. He's gonna swim over, I hope. There he goes, swimming above us. And oh no, it looks like he's gonna get out. Maybe not. Yep, there he goes. Let's see, there goes some. Get another shot here. And there they go, swimming off. And there's my surprise. I was in here just recording, and to my surprise, he swam right over me. And the building pieces, technically they can't go through, but I guess they're just going to ignore them and swim right over our guests here. Well, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you guys have a great day. Subscribe if you enjoy my content, and may the RNG odds be ever in your favor.